Hello students, today we are going to learn grammar and in grammar active passive voice. So let's start. An active voice can be understood with this. In active voice, subject does the action. Let me show you. In this sentence, he is subject and the action of drinking. The subject is doing that action. So you can say here in this sentence, the subject is doing the action. That is why in active, subject does the action. Subject does the action. So he drinks milk every day. In this sentence, he is subject, drinks is verb, and milk is object. Every day is adverbial. That is the part which tells something more about an action, is called adverbial. So again, try to remember, in active sentence, subject does the action, like he drinks milk every day. But in passive, subject receives the action. Let me repeat. In passive, subject receives the action, like in this sentence. Milk is subject, but here milk is not doing any action. It is receiving the action done by him. And the action is drinking. Milk is drunk every day by him. So the object here is him, which is the objective part of he. So you can tell yourself that when you are changing an active sentence into passive, you have to take the object first. That is why object milk is taken here, which now in this sentence is subject. After that, you have to take auxiliary. Here is auxiliary because it is in present tense. Here in active voice, the verb is in present tense. That is why is the auxiliary or helping verb we have taken here. It is suitable to milk. Milk is drunk. Drunk is the past participle. So note down this. In passive sentence, you will use only past participle of a verb. That is third form of a verb. Never second or never first, but only third form of a verb. But in active, you can use first or second or third. In passive, only third form, past participle form is used. So, milk is drunk every day by him. You can see here the subject is receiving the action done by the object. So, this is how you can change an active sentence into passive. He drinks milk every day. Milk is drunk every day by him. Let's take one more example here. She opened the box with a knife. Again you can see subject is she and the subject does the action here. This action of opening. She opened the box with a knife. So you can just see that subject is doing the action in this. That is why this is active voice. That is why this is active voice sentence. And when you want to change it into passive, again you can do the same thing. Take the object first, the box, and then the auxiliary suitable to it. Give attention to this verb. This is simple past tense or past tense, or it is the second form of the verb. That is why you have to use was here which is suitable to the box. We can use were, W-E-R-E also, but here the box is singular, that is why was is used here. The box was opened. Again note down this. This is past participle or third form. The second form of open is the same and past participle third form is also the same. That is why in passive past participle is taken. The box was opened by her with a knife. Note down one more thing here. Here in this passive we have taken adverbial after the past participle. But here we have taken the adverbial after the object. When the adverbial is a long one or more than one or two words, then it is better to keep it after the object. This you can say the same. You can keep this after the object, saying like this: milk is drunk by him every day. That is also right. But when the adverbial is a long one or it consists more than two words, then it is better to keep it up after the object. That is why the box was opened by her with a knife. This adverbial is kept after the object. I hope you understand, and after this we are going to learn some more examples, and for that we will just take some more examples, more so you can see these examples now. Let's take the first example. Here V is subject, this is verb part, a jumbo kite is object, and this evening is adverbial. So when you want to change it into passive, you will have to take the object first, a jumbo kite. Then according to the tense of the active, the tense of the active is simple future tense, will plus first form of the verb has been given. So this is simple future. When simple future is given, then the passive will be a jumbo kite will be made. Note this down, this is past participle. A jumbo kite will be made by us. Us is object, which is the object form of we, and this is adverbial. This you know. Okay, a jumbo kite will be made by us this evening. So remember that a subject, if it is a pronoun, it changes to its object form or objective form. Now we will see that you in the active is subject, in the passive it is you, because the subject and object forms are the same. The subject is you and object is also you. Now we'll see that you is subject, our counting is the verb part, and the coins is object, and very quickly you know is adverbial. So when you want to change, take the object first, the coins, then are, and now in the passive the action is continuing. It is continuous here. That is why in passive being is used. When you want to show the action, continuous action in passive form, you have to use this word being, and then comes past participle. So always remember, in passive sentences past participle is used, third form of a verb is used. Okay, very quickly is adverbial. By, agent word you can call it by, it's a preposition here. Okay, it shows by whom the action was done. Okay, by you. Here, look here, the subject here is not a pronoun, it is a noun. That is why in passive it is repeated. When the subject in active voice is a noun, it is repeated in passive as object. There is no change. Like I becomes me, we becomes us, you becomes you, they becomes them, he becomes him, she becomes her. When the subject is a pronoun, it changes to objective form. But when the subject is noun itself, then in passive it becomes object, but there is no change. The same noun is kept in the object place. So Mr. Peter has trained the voice quite perfectly. Mr. Peter subject has trained his verb part, and the boy is his object quite perfectly, is adverbial. Now you know. And when you want to change it into passive, the object becomes subject. And according to the tense, has trained shows that it is present perfect tense. That is why in the passive this is used, have been. According to the subject, boys is plural, that's why have been. If the subject is singular, you can use has instead of have. The boys have been trained. This is past participle. And here by. The boys have been trained by Mr. Peter quite perfectly. Why by is taken here? You know, by shows agent word. It shows by whom the action was done. So by Mr. Peter, by you, by us. So I now hope that you understand. Remember, an active voice sentence shows that the subject is receiving the subject is doing the action. In passive, the subject is receiving the action. In active, any type of verb can be used, first form, second form, third form, but in passive only third form, that is past participle is used. Past participle is used. In active, if the subject is a pronoun, in passive its objective form is taken, like I becomes me, we becomes us, you becomes you, they becomes them, he becomes him, she becomes her, it becomes it. But when the subject is a noun, then in passive it is kept after by. It is kept after by.